Teenage troublemakers could be spared jail time under a radical new plan to raise the age of criminal responsibility. The plan, which is in front of state and federal authorities, means anyone under 16 who commits a crime would not be prosecuted.
Right, so let's get today's take on this with Shelly Horton from 9honey.com.au and John Mangos.
Good morning.
Shelly, currently children over 10 can be prosecuted. So this, like, are we saying the 15-year-old, are they responsible for this? Do they know what the responsibility of the crime is? It's feeling a little grey.
It's so complicated, and John's had to explain it to me about four
Should
times.
we ask John?
Can we go to John first?
Let's go to John.
He's got it down.
Okay, the important distinction here is we're talking about prosecution, not incarceration. So we're not saying whether kids under 16 should go to jail or not, because that's a whole different story. This is, are kids up to the age of 16 responsible enough, have their brains developed enough for them to stand in a court, probably in the prosecution box, and plead guilty or not guilty. That's what this is about. And these authorities are examining whether the brain is matured enough for a kid to sit in a court and know what they're pleading guilty to up to the age of 16, or not guilty to up to the age of 16. The penalty is another question altogether. So the question is, are kids illegal?
I mean, surely they would know they've done something wrong, though.
That's exactly right, and that's why
their frontal lobe is developed enough to know the difference between
my
right and wrong.
My 10-year-old knows whether he's guilty or not, and that's why I believe that they shouldn't change the age to 16. You are criminally responsible from age 10 on. The difference here, I think, is depending on how you perform in court, determines whether the magistrate says, right, you're going to go to a detention centre, or you're not going to go to detention centre, but you'll do, say, community service, something to pay for your crime.
Yeah.
Okay, because the argument is that the younger a person is a part of that system, that judicial
That's
system,
exactly right.
that the more problems that causes later in life.
If you've got a 15 or 16-year-old going to jail, then you're basically got a career criminal. You know,
recidivism is very high.
That's what's happening with it. So hopefully this will keep more younger kids out of jail, but it will still hold them responsible for their actions. Because you can't tell me that a 14-year-old who stole a car doesn't know that that was the wrong thing to do.
Well, we saw it on the weekend, didn't we? With although it was a 17-year-old who randomly allegedly shot a dart into somebody's face in the street.
Yeah,
so.
I still am getting like flashback horrors seeing that vision of the
And the stuff
of the
that
dart.
you do when you're 12, 13, 14, that doesn't affect that's not who you are when you're 40. Correct. And how long do you pay for that for, and what responsibility does the state have to sort of say, look, we're going to give you a break here, or we're not going to give you a break, we think this is a pattern.
That's
right?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
And that's why we really have to be careful here to distinguish the penalty from the actual process. And the process is whether the kid is responsible enough to hear what they've done in court and plead guilty or not guilty.
Which is why we should keep kids off Candy Crush. We need to get off the subject.
Yeah.
This is the push to ban kids from playing this popular game that your mum and auntie always love to play. Lead academics are worried the app gives youngsters a taste for gambling that could lead them to developing those addictions. Shelley.
Yeah.
It's been downloaded 2.7 billion times, so it's a bit late now.
Yeah, right? I know. I didn't know it was about gambling.
Well, look at it. It looks like a slot machine.
It does look like a slot machine.
I've never actually played Candy Crush.
No, never.
Never. But also, I've never bought a lotto ticket.
Like a
I've
slot
never
machine.
bought a scratchy.
What? Never?
Never, ever.
Never, ever, never?
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Wow, we could keep going.
No, seriously, I'm just not into gambling. And I remember for my 18th birthday, Mum and Dad took me to Jupiter's Casino down at the Gold Coast. And Mum gave me $50, Dad gave me $50, and then they went off gambling and like, go crazy, you can gamble now.
You went shopping.
And no, they're like, at the end of the night, they're like, how'd you go? I'm like, made $100.
Yeah.
Didn't spend a cent.
Yeah, right.
I would rather spend it on, clothes and shoes and things that I can see.
Yeah.
And are going to give me a guaranteed return rather than this thrill or risk. So for me, I'm very anti-gambling. I always have been. And I think if this is encouraging kids to gamble, ban it.
What do you think, John?
I like the idea in theory, but I don't think it works in practice. I don't think you can ban a game. The more games that you ban, the more likely kids are going to seek them out and want to play them. So I don't think banning it is the way to go, but I thoroughly agree with you. If it's planting little seeds in their minds, looking like a slot machine, and developing that thing in the mind that says, oh, I like this, I get the thrill out of winning, losing.
Well, it's about dopamine and addiction.
Yeah.
in these
Correct.
games,
But you
isn't
don't
it?
need to worry because it's only your mum and your auntie who are playing it.
And the problem here is that if age 12, 13...
You know why I know that? Keeps popping up on my bloody Facebook page. Oh,
Mum would like to play Candy Crush with you.
No, I don't do that.
But that's the whole problem here, I think, is that if you're getting at age 12, 13, 14, that whole risk-reward thing, of course it's setting you up for a career in gambling, which can't be a good thing. But I don't think banning the games is going to solve the problem, because I guarantee you ban a game at one of your kids from playing a game, they'll find another way to play it.
Yeah, and then you have to ban everything. I mean, we went into an amusement thing and they had the claw, you know, the claw. Well, I mean, it's a gamble. You put your $2 in, are you going to get a toy? It's a gamble.
Yeah, and the time's never long enough to be able to pick it up anyway.
Yeah, that's a
want
bad
something
gamble.
from that claw, so you're the one pumping in money to get that one minion.
That's right. And I think the minions are weighted, so stay away from the minions. Shelly and John, stay with us. When we come back, how would you react if your mother-in-law asked you to chip in for Christmas lunch? That is if she's not playing Candy Crush, according to David.
I love you all, you know that. Also find out why critics are slamming this new Grinch for being too friendly. Is it though?
Now, if you've ever hosted a big Christmas lunch, you know that it can cost a small fortune. And one mum in the UK has sparked an online debate by charging her family to attend. She has decided to outsource the meal and get each family member to chip in around $30. But they're not happy.
Shelly and John are still here to discuss this. Shelly, the woman's grown-up son. He's an adult.
He's an adult.
He says it just feels wrong to pay money in Mum's place and points out that Mum isn't broke. But is there a problem with this?
She's not broke because she's not just putting on a big spread for all of her adult children who can afford to contribute.
She does seem slightly cheap, though.
No, she doesn't. I think this is brilliant because it actually makes it even for everyone. I earn more money than my parents because they're retired. I actually think I should contribute more, not just even for everyone. So I think this is genius and I'm happy to put in more, and I hate the pressure of Christmas. And if you put money into it and people arguing about money, it's just going to have more Christmas fights. I think...
More Christmas fights, I love that.
No!
What do you think, John?
I think she's a horrible person.
No!
Hello, the spirit of giving, the spirit of Christmas, the spirit of having family lunch. Come to Mum's and pay some money. Not on. If you can't afford to hold the family dinner, don't hold it. Yeah. Let one of the other family members hold. No, you don't pay $30 to go to your mother's place for Christmas.
$30.
Doesn't matter. Bring a bottle of wine, bring a dessert, bring something, bring a dish, bring a salad.
You can't go to a restaurant for $30.
It's not the point. The point is it's Christmas and it's a family meal. You don't.
So what about it's Christmas and we want everyone to be happy, so we chip in $30?
It was you who just said that money brings problems.
Don't turn that around on me.
No, it was you who said that money brings. So as soon as you introduce money into a family meal, you are introducing bigger problems. Because you know what? Favourite son or daughter may not have paid the $30.
I hate that.
So you're going to want to see bank receipts of who's contributed.
If you can't afford to hold the meal, leave it to another family.
Just invoice, guys. That's what I do every Christmas. Finally, the new Grinch movie is sparking outrage this morning because apparently the green Christmas villain isn't mean enough. Movie critics have slammed the latest flick for being overtaken by the PC brigade and saying that the main character is just too nice. But John, this is Sonia and I. Our kids love this studio that makes these films. They make Minions. Illumination. Yes. They make Minions. They make Sing. The Secret Life of Pets. It all looks like this. I don't think they've intentionally say let's soften up the Grinch. This is just their style ethos.
It's friendly.
But I think by having softened up the Grinch, they might have lost the object lesson which comes with the movie, and that is good triumphing over evil.
My kids would be too scared to go see the real old school Grinch.
Really?
Yeah.
Too scared. Billy's too scared.
But isn't that the whole idea that the Grinch is so yucky that the overwhelming joy of Christmas actually finds this nice little soft spot and turns this person into a nice person, and the joy of Christmas overwhelms all the nastiness of life? Isn't that the object lesson of the movie? So if you soften the character, then you don't take anything away from the film.
Oh, see, I thought the Grinch was somebody's mother who was paying...
Charging.
Also known as Shelly Horton. Yeah.
Over to you, Shelly. You Grinch.
I don't think it's watered down. You still get the message, and I agree. Like, I remember my nephews being terrified by some of the Christmas movies.
And kids seeing the Grinch being soft and isolated feel sorry. It invokes empathy.
Yes, I completely agree, and I just think with young kids, you want to be able to plonk them in front of the VCR while you're out the back having a few wines with the rest of your family. Fighting with mum about money, but you don't want kids crying and scared. But you want them
isn't
enjoying.
the point that if the scary character turns out at the end of the film to be
what
lovely
if they
But does he have to be scary? Does the Grinch have to be scary, or is he just a bit grinchy?
It's just a bit
Grinchy.
It's like Scrooge. Scrooge becomes a nice guy at the end. Gosh.
David Campbell.
Listen, I've been called worse.
Scrooge Campbell.
Go on to Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think about these. John and Shell, good to see you, mate.
Thank you.
See ya.
Coming up on Today Extra, forget creams.